Hello everyone. There we go. We've got a view now. And welcome to the 7th season of the Grand Prix Classics Championship. With already a bit of a camera issue. But yeah, here we are. Another season, different cars, same track. Funnily enough, we're starting at the same track that we ended last season on. It was because in 1996, which is the season that we'll be emulating, this was one of the first tracks. I believe it was the second track. First one was, of course, Melbourne, and we don't have Melbourne to drive on. So, we're doing it right here. This season will have a lot of familiar faces and some new ones. We'll look through those in a bit, but first, let me show you the calendar. So, old graphics, we're using the 1992 ones again, famous for Season 5. Brazilian Grand Prix, that's where we start, of course. Today's the 1st of February, and every race will be starting at 7 o'clock for the Central Europeans, that is around the Netherlands, Germany, France. That's where most of our drivers exist. That makes the most sense for the timesheet. But as you can see, we go to the European Grand Prix, which is the Nürburgring. The German Grand Prix will be on the old Hockenheimring, with the large forest section and the chicanes. Then we have the Canadian Grand Prix, of course, Montreal, very well known. The Belgian Grand Prix on Spa. The Italian Grand Prix on Monza. The Portuguese Grand Prix, not on Portimao. We go to, what is the track called? It is a pretty old track that I thought I would remember the name of. I don't. It's not Portimao. It's a different one. We'll correct that in a bit. And the Japanese Grand Prix, of course, the season finale on Suzuka, which will be exciting. Suzuka is always exciting, but what's also exciting, of course, is this very track. And who are we driving with today? We've got a long list. We are driving with up to 22 drivers in a race this time. That's a one up from what we had last time around. I quickly want to check out who do we have. I'm looking for a specific driver. I do not see him. We'll go team by team. So, let's start with... yeah, we can start with the team of the champion. Dikra is the champion of last season. When we drove the 2012 cars, he was absolutely the strongest. He managed the car much better than anyone else. Can he repeat that in a car that is, in almost every way, completely different? It's still a Formula 1 car. It's still got wings. But it drives completely differently. It's got no buttons that can help you. Just no wings that move either. It is just straightforward. Drive this car as fast as you can. Can he succeed just as well here? And I do see somebody says Estoril. That was the Portuguese Grand Prix. Thank you very much. That is indeed the track that will be the 7th round of the season. That is on with me. We'll get to your team next. You deserve a reward. But yeah, Dikra in the Ferrari this time. And of course, his teammate is not actually Domska. Domska and Dikra have decided to look for different teammates. And his teammate this time is an old Ferrari driver. It is Cafalor, trading in the statue, who will not be driving as a fixed driver this season. He may be available as a reserve driver, but for now he is not driving on this race and will not be driving most races he expects. Cafalor, of course, last season was hanging a little bit in the back of the midfield, which was a gigantic midfield. Very competitive as well. This should be a very competitive grid, judging by what we see, what we've seen in previous seasons. And so hopefully he will thrive here. And yeah, maybe move it forwards a little bit. It's a much different car. Not as unstable on the rear as the previous one. So I think we'll be seeing different people up to the top. So that's also why maybe we do not see the same performance from Dekra. Next, I promised we would do this man's team. It's the Peugeot team. One of me is currently not driving. He was there for a little bit last season. Actually, they're both not driving. You can see they are in the alternative livery of the Peugeot car. You can see it much better on the other car. There you go. It's a little bit of a dark yellow, brown, gold color. As it was back then. And with the tobacco sponsors all removed. Because we're doing essentially the French liveries for this season. So that is that team. It is very much a team of two unknowns. I do not know what to make of them. They'll have to show me. And I hope they do. Next team. Let's go to the former world champion. No longer reigning. This man, Domschka. He is driving for the 40 Grand Prix team. Domschka, of course, very strong driver. Last season definitely seemed like the second best. There was a little bit of a gap, I think, between him and Dekra. Dekra just really vibed with that car so well. This season, much different car. Much more like season 5. That's the season he won. So, can he repeat that performance? Can he show that he is very much the best when it comes to this era of cars? Well, we're gonna find out. His teammate is another completely unknown. It's quite high up the timing sheet right now. Gomestos WC. Driving on the number 23. They together will be trying to get as many points for the 40 Grand Prix as they can. And I do notice, and this is, it might seem like the cars are very quiet. It's actually just a distance. If I go on board, it's not nearly as bad. Cars are actually kind of loud. But, yeah. I have no idea what this man is going to bring us. But if Domschka is willing to take him under his wing, I think we should expect nothing less than at least a midfield position. Maybe he can do even better. We will see. Next, another familiar team. If I say Williams in the context of a SSR Grand Prix Classics Championship, we talk about, of course, Randers. Randers has very much shown himself to be very capable. He won the opening race last season. Definitely something I know he still thinks about, because that was quite the achievement considering how incredibly strong this grid is. Randers is very much a driver. Ooh, a little bit of an incident there, but not too much there to look at. It's of course practice, nothing happens, it's fine. Very much a bit of, you know, you never quite know what you're going to get with Randers. And I think that's kind of the same for his teammate, Silver, who might be in the wrong car. Or is it just not loading correctly? Hang on. No, okay, it's just not showing correctly. It's a shadow. It's kind of covering it. But yeah, Silver also in this car. Same teammates. Should expect about the same, but maybe, you know, different car. Not as many crazy things about it. Maybe he can perform a little better. We'll see. Otherwise, was a very good midfield driver. Getting a little bit at the bottom, but we'll see what he can perform in this car. Nothing is certain, and that makes it so exciting. What else is it certain is Nota Bene. Nota Bene is a driver that has done a good performance here and there. Very much so. So I should probably show these graphics, because you also notice that Nota Bene is driving on the South African flag now, in paying homage to his heritage. And I very much appreciate it, because otherwise all the flags are German, most of them. So very happy to see that. Nota Bene has had good performances here and there, and overall, though, his results haven't quite shown up to it. You see, we'll show him what he's capable of. See him setting the second best time here. will be happy with that. As a little bit of an encouraging thing. And you also want to note, car he is driving in with his teammate. Let's quickly move to his teammate, because he also deserves screen time. Daniel Gilligan on the grass. And the car looks a bit worse for wear. But Daniel Gilligan will be his teammate. Daniel Gilligan, despite the way the car looks and what he was doing moments ago, known pretty strong driver. Will, yeah, I'm very curious to see what he will do this season, if he can get a good handle of this car. Whoa! I think I've cursed him. Yeah, it's still easy to lose it. This thing is not free. It's maybe easier than last season car. Maybe. That still is to be proven. But, yeah, he's, we expect something from him. We'll see how much of that really comes out. And what I want to say, these cars, of course, are different. This car is different than, let's say, I think Ride or Die is also... Hang on, let me double check this. There's a... Yeah, okay, Ride or Die has a... Okay, well, Tom's car. You have a different car. I think if you go to cockpit, it will be very obvious. This is different than this, right? Very much different, because this car is actually different. Normally, all the cars are... performance-wise, exactly the same. This is modeled after the McLaren that they had around this time, which works a little differently. It's got some brake tricks or whatever. I'm not too familiar with what's really going on in the footwell. But the car does perform a little bit differently. In fact, it's expected to perform a little bit better on average. But you can see that doesn't mean that, you know, it will be much better over a long race. Especially if you can't keep the car on the track. It does look a little trickier to drive. So, definitely something they need to master. They do share, it's Daniel and Notabene in the McLaren Mercedes car. They do share this car with another team. I quickly need to double check. It is... there he is. He's currently in the box. It is my Michael Moustache from France. Also, I need to remove, say, this one. And where is our... Yes, from France. Here's proof. He's also driving the same car. Same type of car, different livery, different team. He is in fact teammates with Domi, and I haven't... Oh, no, there he is. Domi is here. So... I have seen 21 drivers trying to join. There were some issues with Ultimate Kiesa though, so hopefully he resolves those. We'll see. I actually have now seen everyone on the server, so that's excellent news. This is Domi. Domi was here last season. Not as fast as the others. Didn't quite, keep up with the pace, but... very enthusiastic. He's got his own YouTube channel where he does his driving. Yeah, lovely to have someone like that in the league. Really passionate about this. Sharing it with this Frenchman. Okay. Let's go to another interesting team then. Interesting team, not because there's any changes or anything. It's in fact what you would expect, essentially. Dustin, again, organizer, drives here as well. He is driving, this time, for the Benetton Renault team. With his teammate, as always, Gerald Schmidt. These two, I think, have been teammates for as long as I can remember. And they, still going strong. No split-ups, no breakups, unlike Dikra and Domska. But they are both very strong drivers and can absolutely, every single season, contest for the Drivers' Championship. Oh, sorry, not the driver. Well, yeah, drivers. Why not? They can contest for drivers. Team Championship is what I meant to say, though. In fact, I think Gerald almost did win against Domska, remember? Gerald is very much one to watch. because those cars were not too different from what they are driving in right now. Although, I do think he needs to improve a little bit on his consistency. Okay, so what's next? Well, we have Sorrow. I'm looking for Sorrow. There he is. The Polish, well, very enthusiastic, very passionate driver. He is driving an all-Poland team this year with a driver called Jonathan, also Polish. But he's not here today, as you will notice if you look through the list. Not in this list right now, Jonathan. He does have a replacement driver in the name of Jetlin. And we've seen Jetlin a couple of times before. Decent driver. Happy to have him here. As a reserve driver, but in this race, filling it up to what should be the full 22 if Ultimate Kiesa can fix his issues. And we do hope for that. Now, I've not made a very good list. I've kind of gone up and down. But also these people here move up and down all the time. So, you know, you do what you can do. Marcus VR. Now, last year, Marcus VR was in a team with Michael driving for, I believe it was a Toro Rosso team. Or like a Red Bull Junior team. In some way. I slightly forgot what it was called. This year, he is driving... let me get the name. The Red Bull Sauber Ford team. So they've kind of graduated in a way. It's still Marcus VR and his well-known teammate Michael. Michael, very much a strong midfield driver. Often bubbles up to a fairly high position in his in standings after a race. I don't always know how he does it, but he's quite good at it. Best of the rest relatively frequently. Marcus is straight up a race-winning contender. He didn't quite manage it last year, despite, well, some very close calls. Maybe this season he can. He's already on the top of the sheets, so, you know, small victory, doesn't count for anything, but it is there. And we move on to one more team, and then we have another one, if the full team can hopefully join. JJ is driving out, thankfully, in the Minardi. A beautiful neon green rear wing and front wing. Very recognizable livery. Easy to spot from a distance. JJ, a frequent contender here. Not necessarily for wins, it's been a bit on and off for him. He has in the past been very, very strong though. And maybe with a car like this, he will be able to refine his form and contest for high positions. Right now he's high in the leaderboards. Doesn't mean anything yet, but he is there. His teammate, a complete unknown. We're looking at Apex here. I don't think I've seen this man on the track before, as quite a few others. So, we're going to find out today together where he sorts in this group of people. And it would be cool if we get another couple of midfield drivers, or maybe even a couple more race-winning contenders. Anything is possible, and we're going to find out very, very soon. I'm very excited for it. We are not in qualifying yet, and again, practice, just like pre-season tests in Formula 1 right now, don't mean anything. Especially this practice, I think a lot of people are just kind of making sure that the setup works, kind of making sure that they can do a long run. You know, maybe practicing a start here or there to make sure that the engine doesn't explode, because apparently that is a bug that can happen, but there's things you can do against it. Final team, unfortunately Kiesa is not here, but his teammate right now is... It is Ride or Die. He's driving, I think it should be the Lotus car, but I'm not sure if he picked the right one. Because that doesn't scream Lotus to me, but I might be, this might be accurate. I don't, I think, no, I don't think it's a real team, right? It's not a real team that drove in that year. But we made an extra Lotus team because we accidentally had an extra an extra team. I might have to consult Dustin about what to do with liveries. But yes, that is Ride or Die. He's driving what we call the Lotus team. He's driving it with Kiese. I haven't seen Kiese on here yet. Hopefully he joins. Yeah, it might just be unfortunate for him. Maybe he can join in the next session. Yeah, right now we don't see him. Very unfortunate. So, we've met almost all of the drivers. We are ready to go to qualifying in 5 more minutes. Is there anything else? Is there anything else that I've missed? Well, for now, not really. There's only so much to talk about. These cars are... I haven't tried them yet. I've tried them in the past. I think they've probably changed the physics a couple of times since then. If I remember, this is the V10 Gen 1 car that we're doing. I know the Gen 2 cars very well. They are quite stable, relatively easy to drive for an F1 car. A lot of fun as well. Feel very fast, very good on the accelerator. Not as good in the corners. It's one of those straight line monsters. This one, if I remember correctly, is a lot more... doesn't look that cornery, to be honest. It looks a bit understeery. If we move with Marcus VR, it very much looks like a car that you have to drive deliberately. You have to really think ahead on where you want that thing to be. And corrections come with time loss, buckets of it. But this one does seem to turn a little bit better. There's probably a lot you can tune out already, but as far as I know, they have been a lot more open with setups this season so far. As far as I know, no tricks have been found yet in terms of setup. So there's nothing that gains them like half a tenth a lap or half a second a lap. There's no rake tricks, no spring tricks, not one number that you can change in the setup to just be faster, as far as we are aware. There are some things that drivers do have to think about. There are some numbers, some values, I think for engine braking, for example. If you set the wrong value there, very funny, the car blows up when you rev it, when you stand still. Which you might hear that and say, why would you stand still and rev your engine? Yes, you blow up the engine if you do that. But, of course, at the start of the race, you have to do that. You have to put some revolutions into the engine and drop the clutch to start the car. It might not even survive that if you have the engine braking number too high, which I think means low engine braking. It's probably a miscalculation somewhere where, oh, we're not braking the engine, so you can spin as fast as it wants and then it brakes. So every driver has been made aware of this. This is always the kind of thing that is discussed in a briefing before the event starts. We just had that. It ran late a little bit. That's also why the stream started. Well, I wanted to start it 5 minutes earlier than normal. And then I realized we're going to run late a little bit. So then I started at the normal time. And then I had 5 more minutes than I was expecting. So, all in all, good planning. But it's good to pay a little bit of extra attention to the little things. For especially the first race. Definitely something that we can credit Dustin for doing. Does have help from the drivers. There's a lot of discussions going on also about the race start today, which will be on a wet track in dry conditions. Some people suggest, well, for the first race of the season, that might be a bit tricky. It will be the only one this season, as far as I am aware. Mostly doing it because last season, the final race, it was meant to be that way, but it didn't happen, unfortunately. So, this season, we're running it again. Hopefully, things will all be good. 1 minute and 13 seconds left to go before the checkered flag waves and then people get the chance to finish their lap. And once everybody's crossed the finish line or has gone back to the pits, Then we continue into qualifying, and Dustin does a pit entry practice. Very important to get that right. I would say, especially on this track, kind of yes. Because you come in with such a high speed. If you brake too early, you just lose seconds for nothing. Randers has improved, is now fastest. JJ has also set a fairly strong time. Not as strong as Randers, who've done a 1:14.2, and that looks like qualifying practice. But nobody else has done it, so there's no comparing. But yeah, JJ is kind of trying to push a little bit. I don't know with how much fuel. I don't know how serious it is. Maybe it's a relaxed run on a low fuel car. We will find out in not too long. Checkered flag is about to wave. Only a couple more drivers on track. I still don't see Kiesa, unfortunately. Hopefully next session he's able to join. Maybe he's validating files. Yeah, it's really unfortunate that he's not able to join the server. Every time he tries, he gets kicked. Yeah. It might be that we're remaking. I do see 2 people have left the server moments ago. Is Dustin still here? Dustin is still here, and some people are leaving. Yeah, I think a lot of people are leaving because we are remaking the server. Just so that Kiesa can join. Okay. I'm going to mute up real quick, and we're going to discuss this, and we'll be back. And we are back. Welcome to qualifying. Some technical difficulties, which I'm not sure have been fully resolved. But, yeah, I think we just continue. I still see 20 people in here, and Dustin is one of them. Normally he is the first to declare something a lost cause. Or the person that I need to rely on to do that. And you also see, apparently, the pit exit a lot different now, so we'll see how that goes. Kind of ejects people into a very awkward position. That's why they made the new one. We'll be following the champion, the reigning champion, on a wet track. Apparently also set for qualifying. We'll see what that makes. I'm not sure if this was intentional for qualifying. It might be because we made a new lobby and we removed the practice session. That it moves the wet track, well, unchanged to the quality session. But yeah, it is what it is. Doing a wet to dry qualifying session. Honestly, it might be intentional because this is very exciting. Maybe not at the start. All of these laps that you're about to see in the first 5 to 10 minutes do not matter. The track will get better. The best times will be set all the way at the end and no earlier. Do I see Kiesa? I don't see Kiesa yet. Hopefully he can join. Everybody else is in there. That is at least good news. We've got 21 out of 22. But we would really like to see 22 out of 22. So, start of the lap. Dekra into turn 1. It is a... as it is right now, the center S's, a left, a right. And then in the wet, a very tricky long left. Ooh, and he catches it. But that lap is essentially gone. He might try to push on with it anyway. End of sector 1 into a heavy braking zone. Very difficult apex to hit. Carry as much speed through here as you can. It's a decent lead up until the next corner, which, especially in the wet, tricky right-hander uphill. Very easy to lose it here. Lewis Hamilton has done it before in the qualifying session. And into sector 2. Into the tight section of sector 2. What it is known for. The left, the right, the left, and then another right hairpin. Followed by a long left-hander, free in the dry, not in the wet. A balancing act that Dekra manages to do very well into the last corner, and the exit here is so important because you enter such a long straight that, well, in the race provides a very good overtaking opportunity, and in qualifying a good slipstreaming opportunity. Dikra sets a 127.599, which is bad because one, well, he messed up turn 3. A second, it's wet and it will not stand. The track will dry up. These cars will get faster over time. And you already see every single person that goes over the line, except for Geralt. I think Geralt also made a big mistake. Is setting a much better time than the man before. Though Sora right now is kind of holding on. Randus has gotten close. Very interesting. Randus, of course, well known for being good. Sorrow. We've seen very good races from Sorrow. We've seen very unfortunate races from Sorrow. But right now he is on a provisional pole. That means very, very little, unfortunately, for him. Gomez made either a big mistake or that is his outlap that is timed for reasons I can explain, but we'll choose not to. Marcus VR also up high. Exactly the same time as Randus, actually, but said it later, so he's behind. Again, not yet meaningful. This track will get faster. You might already see the effects of it. Ooh, a little bit too late on the brakes. Can't get the car stopped very well. The track will improve. The times will start to tumble. People are just driving around to dry up this track and be able to set a solid time on maybe the slicks. Although we are 5 minutes in, and I would really like to point out, if you look at this track, you can see the reflection from, well, the sky, from the trees, from everything. Tarmac doesn't reflect, by the way. It doesn't do that. The track's wet. It's still very, very wet. And I think in some places, like right there, it was pretty dry, but it is braking zone again, very, very wet. This is not good for slicks yet in any way, shape, or form. And Sorrow makes a mistake as he tried to push. He did improve his time. Yeah, still faster than anyone else. Randus improved his time. Didn't beat Sorrow, though. Marcus VR now in third place, ahead of Geralt, who is super close behind. Then we have Domska and Dikra, the old teammates, now separated. Dikra in P6. Now, a lot can change still, and I think a lot will change. But I would expect the track to dry up quicker. It is cloudy, so the sun isn't helping. Oh, Dikra, hey, hello, there you go. P1, the world champion, still has got it. Even in this car, even in the wet. So the track might be starting to improve a little bit here and there. You still see careful on the throttle here. Randus in P3. Not quite comfortable with the way this track is. It is improving in places, but not enough. Not as fast as I think some people expect, including myself. So we might not even reach slicks, and that is going to be interesting because it's going to be a last run, but the track will still be faster, but maybe not on slicks. And you kind of don't know that sometimes. If it's close, some people could be going on slicks for the last run and lose the best of the track if it's not quite ready for slicks yet. Alternatively, it could be that it just about switches over to slicks being faster on that last run, and then switching to slicks is essentially a free, maybe pole position, maybe second, depending on how many other people do the same and manage to set a good lap time in one attempt. And don't underestimate the factor of the attempt there. It is very easy to throw one away. You can have good ones, you can have bad ones, and the difference can absolutely be seconds. You see people mess up corners that normally they would be very good at, but I think this corner in particular, this corner is still very wet. It's starting to improve a little bit now, Moments ago it was super wet and the straight was already fairly dry. That can catch people out. That is something that I need to take into account. Michael is getting a good grip of these conditions, putting himself into P2 right behind the champion. Domska, former champion, currently P4. Sora remains in P3. We've got Randers, Marcus, Geralt. Usual suspects. Cafalor, though. That's pretty good for Cafalor. That is not quite where we would expect him. Maybe a little lower, but he's up there. Michael also, by the way. Very, very good performance. The top 9, all very strong drivers. It's tough to get in there. Apex, the next driver up. New driver. Don't know what to expect of him, but that is pretty solid, considering who we're driving with, and Randers puts it on top of the timetable. JJ in second now, and look at the time from Randers. He is so much faster than everyone else. That is a full second ahead of JJ, and 2.5 from Dikra, who is now battling someone, which I don't think he will appreciate, but it's completely fine. Dustin has improved. Nearly in pole position. The gap is half a tenth. And I think, you can't see it, it will show wet tires. I think he's changed tire compound. Maybe to dry. Maybe dry is already faster, slicks are already faster. And that will mean that people will start switching over. And we'll have a straight, essentially 1 or 2 shot qualifying. The track still looks wet though. Now, it's very possible that it's still faster in the dry. That's partially because of driving on Amos 2 and the tire. It's not. It's a simulation. It's not 100% accurate. That's just how it is. The tires can maybe survive, provided they have the temperature. If they manage to put a temperature in the tire, maybe you can get one good lap out of it. And if they drive over too much water, then it becomes a problem again. It cools down too much. Randers across the finish line. JJ across the finish line. They are so far removed from anyone else. JJ very getting closer to Randers. It's not very close though. Dikra is 4.7 seconds away. He's improved now. He's only half a second away and into third place. But look at how much the track has improved. Gomestos has now also improved. 2.2 seconds away still. Currently in P4. So we will be seeing, I think, Domska improve a lot in a moment. Michael, Sorrow, Marcus, Geralt, all of those drivers essentially start from 0. They need to go out and set a lap time. And you also see On Of Me and Ride or Die. They haven't set a lap time yet. I think they understand the track at the start. I don't even want to drive in that. I'm gonna grab a drink or something and then we'll drive. Of course, non-alcoholic drinks, just some water. On Of Me immediately, first attempt, P6, 1.8 seconds behind. Cafalor, Ferrari driver, former midfield driver, I think. He is in the lead. Randers not too far behind. Silver also put it in P3. Very good for the Williams team to be in second and third. They stay there. JJ doesn't improve yet. Might be starting a lap though. What else is going on? Dustin still needs to improve. Marcus VR has improved. And as I say that, Gerald Smith dives under that. It's 2 seconds faster than Cafalor. This track is evolving extremely fast. Michael dives underneath that. The gap is small, but it is underneath that. Very good times from everyone. Apex also joining the fray. P4. It is for him. Cinco Estos was like P4, P5 somewhere. He's now at P11. The track evolves so fast. A time that you set a minute ago is no longer competitive. Cafalor back on top. Small gap to Michael. I do see some lagging. Hopefully there's not a problem. And Dustin, there we go. Dustin, this is what I was expecting. Has now improved a lot. And Sora has also improved. They're a second away from Cafalor. Every minute, these cars gain a second almost. And now the track is essentially dry. The track is essentially dry, and now is hammer time. And if you really want the best time, you need to start it as late as possible. And Michael might be in a very good position here if he has the fuel to do 2 more laps. So if he pushes this lap and doesn't destroy his tires, very importantly, pushes a little bit this lap, he will go across the line with a little bit of time remaining. He doesn't even need to push. Oh, he goes into pits. It's gonna be tight for him. JJ makes a mistake, and that could be costly if he has damage, because I don't think he will get a chance to improve. But he's currently in P2. He's gonna drop a lot though if he doesn't, and he doesn't get to improve. I'll spoil that for you. JJ in P2 at best. Let's see how far he drops. Essentially, Randers is still on an improvement, and it's essentially second to last chance to improve. Swan Ligier cars very elegantly moves aside, although there will be some blocking, I think. Not much to be done about that. Gilligan, currently in 19th, hasn't set a competitive lap time. Will not have too much chance to do it. Nota bene, hasn't set a lap time either. Ride or Die isn't setting a lap time at all. He's missed the trick, unfortunately. So, 30 seconds to go. Anybody starting a lap now? Well, Randers might get 1 more to boot. And that will be perfectly calculated. 20 seconds across that line. He is gonna get there. He gets 1 more lap underneath his belt. Currently in P1. Marcus in P2 also has a chance to improve. Silver is driving his last lap. Michael is finishing his lap, I think. No, I think he gets another one. And he will have the best of the track. Oh, never mind. That lap is gone. The lap is dead. I don't know who to follow here. Dustin looks competitive. Marcus looks competitive. Randers looks competitive. JJ isn't gonna be setting a time. Silver is in P4. I wanna see what he's doing. Let's see what happens. Randers is still in P1. Olufme has put himself in there. Sorrow is still driving. He's coming out of the last corner. Let's see where he ends up. He's been fast here and there. Gerald Smith takes pole position for now. 14.9. Is that going to be fast enough? Sorrow on the start-finish straight, making the distance as short as possible. Where does he end up? P4 at best. He will not be happy about that. I think. Randers out there to improve. Dikra, the reigning champion in P1 right now. Dustin has to settle for P3. Where's Randers gonna be? He's been fast. P2. And that's gonna sting a little bit because he has been up there so much. Gilligan, I think he's still... I don't think he's driving anymore. I think this is kind of where we are at. I need to... I've got a problem. I've got a little bit of time to try and set this. Dikra, it has a pole position. And we're quickly going to go to a small break. 1.5 minute ad. So I can set everything up and we can go through the whole grid. Okay, and if you have subscribed, then you will still hear my voice. Yeah, what a qualifying session. Very interesting. Results kind of... I don't think expected is the right word. We still have this usual suspects up there, but the order is weird, and we'll get to that when we read through it. Yeah, I'm very satisfied with how that went in terms of it's going to be exciting. I think... in everyone's interest, especially if you're streaming. Makes things a little easier. All of me in P10 is very much something you can be happy about. Daniel Gilligan didn't really set a lap time for most of it. At the end, comes in clutch P11 though. That's all he's gonna have. Silver in P12, and I need to scroll down because it's a long list. I've got Apex and Michael. Let's see. I've got Michael, I've got Apex. Yeah, I've got to do all this manually, unfortunately. And normally I do this while things are going on. I don't really have the opportunity here because It's a way qualifying when the track dries up and everything changes all the time. Okay. We're nearly there. And welcome back. Unfortunately, I think Kiesa didn't manage to join. So we are left with 21. And I think that's tragic. So, very, very, very quick grid rundown. Here we have your starting grid. We've got Dikra, the reigning champion, on pole position, but it doesn't tell a whole story. Randers in P2, again, very strong qualifying from Randers. He is quite good at this. Domska in P3, very good position for him to start a fight. Then we got the Benetton team, Gerald, Smith, and Dustin. Next we got Marcus VR, very strong position from him. But we're starting to get to positions where it can be tricky, especially in the wet start. Then we have Sorrow. Cavallor, very good qualifying from him in P8. JJ in P9, also can be quite happy about that. We've got Onufmi in P10. First out in the season, we'll be very happy with that. Daniel Gilligan, P11. Silver in 12th. We've got the next page. It's not doing the pages correctly, is it? No, it's not doing the page correctly. You're just gonna have to listen to me. Here you go, see it on the screen. We've got Apex in 13th, Michael in 14th, Gomestos in 15th on his first outing. Jetlin is after that. Michael Moustache in 17th, Notabene in 18th. Then we've got Domi, ditto. A rider that I didn't manage to set a lap time. He will start in last place. And that might not be such a bad thing, because it's gonna be wet. And I think, oh no, I was trying something, it doesn't work. There's supposed to be a free cam feature, it doesn't work. So starting last is not such a bad thing, because while this looks discouraging, behind him looks very encouraging. There's nobody can hit him from behind. We're going to start the race. The lights go out, away we go. And that is a tricky start for many people. No collisions yet on the start finish straight. I think that's very good. On the inside, Randers goes though, and he might immediately be making a move for the lead. And he does, but you see some cars go straight where they're not supposed to go. But that's Randers in the lead, and look at that gap. Dika has lost a lot, and he's gonna have to contend with his old teammate Domsko's right behind him. There's not much we can see, unfortunately, due to the spray, but that's also kind of what the drivers have to contend with. A lot of these drivers are kind of still where they started, though. Marcus VR started in P6, still P6. Cavallor has made a move up, because Sorrow, I think we've lost Sorrow quite a bit. He's dropped down quite a big amount. Gomestos is currently in last place, unfortunately. Dropped off a little bit after the start. Randers, though, the big winner, he is in the lead. Currently nothing ahead of him, so it's not interesting to look like that. But Marcus in P6, chasing Dustin, chasing Gerald. While it is this wet on track and there is so much spray, it's very, very difficult to follow. And a lot of drivers will choose peace over war, although Marcus may not, because that's a shocking exit from Dustin. And if there is ever an opportunity to overtake in the wet, this would be it. He's gonna have to do it around the outside, maybe. Yeah, Dustin decides to defend the inside, but he's early on the brakes. Late on the brakes is Marcus around the outside of the Senna S's. It's not enough, though. Dustin closes that door, and Cavallor now has an opportunity, maybe. Also, I will note, Dustin is very close behind Gerald, looking on the inside. He's later on the brakes, maybe. Yeah, not enough to really make a move. Gerald Smith maintains that position, but they are losing touch to two former champions in Domska and Dikra, who are chasing, well, not really chasing, losing touch of the leader, Randers, who again has a very strong opening race, or at least the start is looking very good for him, as Dustin shoves his way past Gerald, who had quite a bad hairpin. He's losing so much time. Marcus VR also looking on the inside. Oh, it's got to be a bit careful. Gerald dodges out of the way. I think that's maybe another position gone. Around the outside. Marcus stays there. Can Geralt defend this? He's trying to defend this for himself, but also for his teammates, who will be benefiting from this, but he doesn't have a good exit, and that is Marcus gone past. And he's got to worry about the next guy, Cavalier. Cavalier also looking very racy. Geralt Smith just not getting a good handle of this car in the wet. On the inside, he's looking late on the brakes. Oh, he's got to avoid Marcus though. But he manages it. Oh, there's a spin from Geralt. It falls back quite a bit now. Down to 12th place, and there was a collision as well. Hopefully no damage for anyone. Mike will move himself up to P7 then, has a view of what is going on ahead of him. And that's completely crazy, by the way. Gomestos has also fought himself way back, by the way. Oh, and it's a big spin from Ditto. Good save, good save. Okay, he gets to keep driving. No collisions with any walls. Gets to keep going. Cavalier right behind Marcus. And Geralt really losing out a lot there. Not quite getting what he needs out of the car in these conditions. As the track dries up, he will have opportunities to come back. It is a long race, but it's important that you finish high. Because what I haven't mentioned yet, what I forgot, is that the point system is a little bit different. You get a little bit more if you win a race. You get 25 points. The gaps are bigger. You still get points down to 12th. Which, yeah, some people thought, maybe we can go all the way. But I think 12th is fine. You're in the top half if you finish 12th. Obviously, you don't have that many finishes. Although, we still have 21 drivers all, well, surviving. And Domska and Dikra are fighting. Domska is very, very close. But these two know very well that fighting is very much a choice that you don't always need to make. They also see Randers go away a little bit. Domska, if he feels too slow, he will attempt an overtake, but he will also have to wait for an opportunity. Because if you work too hard to create one in the wet, you will find yourself into a car or into a wall, and your race may or may not be over. So, wise decision to be patient. Things have calmed down a little bit. Things are so crazy, I'm struggling to keep up. But yeah, now things have calmed down a little bit. Looking further down, we do see Domi is now in last place, losing a couple of positions since the start. JJ has lost quite a bit though. He was around 10th place, currently in P20, unfortunately. Apex also lost a little bit. Ditto and Silver are fighting. Silver also not quite comfortable with these conditions in this context, and one of me is fighting. In positions to Gilligan and Sorrow. Gilligan looking quite good in these conditions. Sorrow needs to fight back a little bit. He's got to do it in a wise way. The fact that he's up to P9 now, I think is evidence of that he's doing that. Apex is first to stop. I'm not sure if this is a tire switch. That feels early. I will say that feels early, although there may be already a dry enough line that this is possible. If his tires are overheating, I think it makes sense to box. But this is one of those things you have to practice. You can't say this from the commentary booth. But Apex is the first to stop. If his tires are faster, we will see that relatively quickly, I think. Currently 46 is the gap. 47. Oh, actually, Randers is going in as well. But interestingly, Dikra and Domska stay out. These two think it's too early. Randers doesn't, Dustin doesn't, Marcus doesn't, Catfalo doesn't, Michael is still out. We have a split strategy here. Some people think it's time to go in. Some people think it's too early. Gilligan and all of me are in team too early. And we've got Randers down to Cafalor, Sorrow. So many people think it is time to box. Notabene is also in. Gomestos stays out. Michael Moustache stays out. Apex has already stopped. What do the timings say? Well, not much, I think, because it is probably his outlap. So, no point looking there. But he's ahead of JJ now. I think he already was. He's going to be ahead of Notabene, maybe. Okay, interesting. Tires will be up the temperature. And Dikra and Domska, you two old teammates, have you missed a trick here? Have you made a mistake? Are we going to see these two jump in now? Yes. And where's Randers? Randers on his dry tires, if he nailed it, should be faster. And these two should be behind Dustin. But if he was wrong, Domska and Dikra will be ahead. And Dikra and Domska, there they go. In that order, Randers around here, it seems to have been quite equal. Randers is still ahead. Randers is still ahead. He's overtaken on of me, who I think is struggling. I think Randers nailed it. I think everybody boxed early, nailed it. Dustin is no closer though. So it's kind of even. For the lead of the race, all of this has not mattered so much. All of me and Gilligan still haven't stopped. All of me now lets Domska go, because there's no point in fighting. He understands that. And Randers will want to retake the lead and try to run away. Gilligan can be a nuisance for someone else. Randers doesn't want any of it. The running order is essentially still Dikra behind Randers, ahead of Domska. And Gilligan is in between on tires that I really think he should not be on anymore. So we're expecting him to box. In just a moment, Ride or Die is also in the pits, and somebody has already left, and I'm gonna have to... I think it's Domi. I think Domi has unfortunately retired. He did mention struggling in the rain, so if that didn't work out for him, very unfortunate. We get another chance next race where it will be dry. One of me also in the pits, along with Gilligan. These two deciding it has been enough, and Dikra is very, very close to the race lead. Randers is going to have to pull off a defensive race for another 33 laps. Because Dikra looks to be a little bit faster right now. The gap was there. It's not anymore. Domska is a little bit behind, not quite up to pace with these two. But then we have Marcus VR, who is a big beneficiary from everything that happens ahead of him, behind him, around him. Dustin, right behind that. Well, I say right behind that. This is a decent gap, but Sorrow and Cafalon definitely right behind that. In the end, and everything that changes, Gerald Switch has dropped off a lot, but he has clawed back quite a bit. Now in P8, after a massive disaster that saw him in P12. I think we'll be happy with that. Sorrow moves ahead of Dustin. I think Dustin is quite happy with how things are going. Oh, I've missed this. Randers has been overtaken by Dikra. Dikra is now your new race leader, and judging by the pace differential, I think he might be running away with this. Some more drivers in chat. Hello and welcome. As I think, is that Domska? No, I think there's someone else leaving space. I think that might have been Silver. Although Decra is ahead now. Ooh, that is a bit of a mistake. And that could cost him quite a bit if the exit here is also affected. Doesn't seem to be the case right now, so he gets away with it. Randus in P2. Still very much in this race. I thought it might be a pace differential, but it doesn't seem to actually be the case so much. Randus very, very much keeping up. Hopefully it's not one of those where I can't keep my eyes off of these people. I think we're okay. Because while they are very close together, they're not fighting in Sector 2. So let's have a look down. We got Notabene. He is right behind Daniel Gilligan. His teammates, these two are set to score points. They'll be happy with that. But the gap is pretty big to the guys ahead, though. Dustin behind Sorrow still, ahead of Cafalo still. Oh, and I think that's someone moving aside. It must be Ditto. Yes, Silver is also in the pits. I think Silver has had a bit of a rotten one. 3 minutes behind. Very unfortunate. Ditto also not doing too well. So the yellow colored cars... Well, Williams isn't yellow, but I made them yellow on my dashboard. Because there's so many blue cars already. And they have a really cool golden stripe that I really appreciate. Oh, and I've missed it again. Look, I thought they wouldn't overtake all the time, but here we go. Decra is behind Randers again. Oh, and it's worse. Domsky's right there. And it turns out a race for 2 has become a race of 3. Domsky has a good view of these two, and if these two are fighting, if that's what they're going to be doing, then he will be here to benefit. Look from Dekra's, from Dekra's focus, because we have a bit of a better view then. And as you can see, we do actually have some very nice thing here where we have a blue car, a red car, and a green car, all fighting it out. You can see Dekra getting very close, much better exit on the inside then for the lead of the race, the side by side. Oh, and Domska will be really happy with this. Look at this. Randa's still pulling away. Domska is looking on the outside of Dekra then. He boxes him in a little bit. Himself more like. And they're side by side up this hill. Dekra stays ahead though. And now we've got a race. A proper one. Where 3 drivers all can win. And they seem pretty equal in pace. And I quickly want to check. Marcus is not as fast. I was hoping Marcus would be faster because then we could make it 4. But Marcus is not quite catching up yet. Every opportunity to do so later. Because I don't think this will be one of the faster laps. I'm just seeing these two right ahead of him. Doesn't look like there's a move on hand though, excuse me. Dekra is simply too far away to send it. Marcus 7 seconds behind. He is 3 seconds ahead of the next guy, Sorrow. Who I think Sorrow is hungry though. Sorrow will want more. Especially since last season essentially left him starving. We had opportunities, but a couple of mistakes here, a couple of frustrations there. bit of a momentum-based driver, if you know what I mean. Like, they'll talk about momentum in chess, and it's like, are you thrown to pieces? No, it means if somebody's doing well, they'll keep doing well. If somebody makes a mistake or two, and things start going poorly, they will keep doing poorly. Some people are very easy at resetting. I think Sorrow does have that issue where if he starts making mistakes, it becomes a problem for him. Tikra on the inside. Actually, it's over before it started. Randers decides to slot in behind. And they swap positions again. Now, how permanent is this gonna be? Because so far, this has been anything but. Randers already has an opportunity maybe, but decides not to take it. And Domska right behind. This man is just waiting for an accident. I think he's going to stay behind until the gap grows to either Dikra or Randers if they're ahead. And the person second doesn't keep up. Then he might overtake. But yeah. For now. Happy to stay where he is. Still a couple of laps to go, and you only need to be ahead on lap 40. We do have a message from Dommy, who unfortunately was our first retirement. Managing to hit the barrier in the pit lane. Yeah, if that's the head-on one, like, you know, the one that you see right here on your left, like, you know, if you hit that head-on, yeah, then it's kind of over, unfortunately. Yeah, it can happen, especially if the track is wet. You're coming in with a high speed. Super easy to do. It was already a lap down and decided, you know what? Try again next race. Every opportunity to do so next race. And I think Randers, hello, were you looking for something there? Was late on the brakes. Stays as it is. Alright, give me a moment to actually look down at what else is going on. Gerald Spin is now P6. Hello, hello. Very good job from him so far. Dustin dropping down a little bit with Cavallor. May have had a bit of an accident. We've got Michael. I'm not sure he knows there's still a race going on. There's nobody around him. These two are back up on the start-finish straight. So let's have a look. Yeah, starting to hit traffic a little bit. I've already lapped a couple of drivers, but I don't think it's ever been too much of a... Yeah, it's just been incidental here and there, and now it's starting to become, well, 3 drivers in a row there. And that might change things a little bit. Staying where they are for now. Okay, I think it's safe to look down a little bit. Michael is completely on his own. He's in P9. Maybe having the time of his life. Somebody will have to ask him. We've got Daniel Gilligan in P10. He's been P10 for a little while, but in different orders. So there's been different people ahead and in front of him. So hard to say exactly how that what that says about his race. His teammate Notabene is still behind. They are both still stand to make points. But Gomez, oh, and it's a collision. Gomez hitting him on the back there. That's something for the stewards to decide. Happens very fast. But I think some people will be very happy to draw conclusions. Probably one of them is right here, Notabene. Will be very unhappy. And Michel Moustache currently in P14. And actually, I think Randers behind him. Well, he may have been held up a little bit by these people that should have their blue flags. And JJ actually benefits from it. You can't really rest on your laurels, I'm afraid. You have to stay sharp when you're being lapped. And I think he was trying to defend in a sense, not against the lead drivers, but against, well, the person he was actually racing, JJ. But as a result, I do think he has held up Randers and Domska, and I think that might also be going to the stewards. We'll have to see. So, just one of those things. Blue flags are a bit difficult in sim racing, I will say. Going to see a bunch of them, I think, this race, because there are so many people and the pace difference is there. Dikra, Randers and Domska are just in a league of their own. All three of them. Marcus is not keeping up even. He's 12 seconds behind. Again, Marcus is very much in a, like, you know, his own little space. Nobody ahead, nobody behind. Sorrow is catching, maybe? And Geralt is a little bit behind that. So the gaps are forming. Difference in pace is starting to become visible. I think that might be Silver that we're looking at. It was a little bit confusing, but Silver will have blue flags and we'll have to let Moustache go. Provided that Moustache actually has the pace to catch up a little bit. Because, you know, I wouldn't move aside for someone 2 seconds behind. Just one of those things. I think officially you have to. In sim racing, it's often a little bit more like you do have to show that you're getting there. And then we'll move aside. And when I did do the racing, I was actually quite good about blue flags. Not that I haven't got any, of course. No, I very much did. But, yeah. Sometimes you just gotta let them race. But it's difficult if you're also in a fight yourself. That makes it tricky. You have to be quite smart about how you do it. You can't just release on the start of a straight and then you get cooked by the person you're actually racing. And this either Gilligan? I don't think it's Gilligan. It's not the Bennett, unfortunately, that had a little bit of an incident. Well, he was tapped earlier as well, so rough race for him, I think. It's not quite gone the way he wanted it to go. A couple of issues here and there, but still driving. P13, every chance to get a point here. Just a reminder, you do get points down to 12th, and that's a lunge from Domska. Quite a big one. And Randers, I'm not sure if he's going to tolerate that. I don't think he's happy to accept it, but Domska thinks Randers isn't fast enough. Going to defend the inside. He didn't have the best exit. Randers very much faster here. Around the outside is a difficult one. Domska defends it. But a switchback then. Randers still trying, but I think it's over. You don't do it here. And next corner is going to be very tricky, but if he's not side by side there, it is a completed overtake by Domska on Randers. That makes it a 1-2 for the last two champions. Dikra winning the last season, reigning champion. Domska won the season right before it. And I think a lot of people were predicting him to do very well last season as well. Probably win it again. Didn't pan out that way. In these cars, I think he's a little bit more comfortable though. This race has not quite gone the way he wanted it to yet. Dikra does have a very strong lead right now, 4 seconds. And Domska is not able to shake Randers. Randers is still there. Still maybe a bit angry that he lost that position. Yeah, we do see Sorrow already in the pits again. Early stop. Keep in mind they did already stop all of them, going from wets to dries. Sorry, I think he might have actually some damage. He's been in here for a little while. Hopefully not. Hopefully I don't see him disappear. That would be tragic. These two are completely inseparable though, and do have another retirement. I think Ride or Die is also retired, unfortunately. Don't exactly know why, and there has been another one. Who is it? Apex? I think Apex is also retired. Lotus and Minardi out. Hopefully that's not because they were both in the same incident. Hopefully not. We'll see. These two are separable. I don't know if they're actually going to move. JJ and Notabene are fighting though. And Notabene has moved himself up a little bit. Currently P11. Behind Gomestos, who has also fought himself way back up. Then who has dropped? Well, Sorrow has dropped quite a bit. That's because he's stopped again. He stopped for a long time. I wonder if he had damage that he needed to repair. Or that he accidentally repaired. That is also a possibility that he didn't mean to. One of me is also in the pits, but that also takes a... Oh no, these cars refuel, don't they? No, these cars refuel, don't they? They didn't need to refuel at the start because, you know, you're only driving for 5 meters. But yeah, these cars refuel. They're refueling. Of course, of course. Yes, no, this makes total sense. I was not fully aware, but yeah, they do refuel, I think. If that's not true, somebody correct me in chat. So that's probably why these stops are taking a little longer. Sash is right behind Zoro then. And is right behind JJ. Who I do think has overtaken him. He's going to start driving away as much as he can. Big shout out to Gomestos, by the way, who had a very up and down race so far, but currently back in P10. A bit provisional, because some people have already stopped again. Marcus VR being one of them. Down to P7. Emerging behind his teammate Michael. His teammate Michael, okay. And Cavalier. I think that last one stings a little bit, because look at this. He's now in a heavier car. And he's being held up by someone I don't think he wants to be held up by. Well, people don't want to be held up by anyone, to be clear. Randus goes into the pits. Very interesting. Early. Compared to other people. But he is in. Domska, 4.8 seconds behind. The leader of the race, Dikra. I do think we should start expecting to see Dikra into the pits. In just a moment. I suspect he's running a little bit lower on fuel. Maybe somewhere around him. I think his tires are doing quite well compared to others. I might be looking at another Dikra masterclass. Maybe his transformation into the semi-slick racing Max Verstappen. And we're accidentally looking at the 2023 season. Now, as epic as that season was, I don't need a repeat. I've seen it. Yeah, there we go. Dikra is in the pits. His former teammate follows him in. Oh, and that's a big mistake. I think he's... I think that was real. That's a bit weird, but sometimes in Amos too, you see things and they don't actually happen. But it looked like a really big incident, and Randus is on the start-finish straight. It looks to be going ahead. I'm just gonna Dikra actually out quite quickly. They didn't refuel that much, I think. I think they actually entered... or started the race with quite a bit of fuel. And you do see that undercut doesn't exist. Randus was closer to Domska before he pitted. It's lost a little bit. Dustin hasn't stopped yet and is now right behind Randers, who will be in a heavier car. It's also time for Dustin to think about boxing. What it's going to mean for his race. Domska is having a little bit of a complaint, and Michel Moustache is again involved. It's the first time he's involved in blue flag shenanigans. Hopefully that's not... Hopefully I'm misseeing things, and hopefully that's not actually a thing that the stewards will need to look at. Would very much prefer if everything went well. But maybe good to reiterate to people how the blue flags are supposed to work. Sometimes it's just not clear. Different series do it differently. We very much want it to be like F1. And that is why. It might also be... I feel like Dikra was in the pits a little less long than others. It might be that it's trying to stop again later. But we'll have to see about that. A little bit unclear sometimes what's going on. Is sometimes a bit of a disadvantage. Alternatively, it is that other people were actually repairing damage when they maybe could have avoided it. Mestos is also in the pits right now. Having a pretty good race so far, but of course after the pit stop we'll see what they really are. Gilligan in P9 though. Been running a very good race so far. Dustin goes into the pits as well. Michael, I think, we still owe a pit from him. It's not going to be this lap. Decides to continue. And if it is indeed refueling that they're thinking about, then it will benefit from this. If a race car needs to refuel, then often it's better to overcut, not undercut. What does that mean? Well, when you undercut, you box earlier so that you have fresher tires and you're able to go faster on those tires. So if you're 2 seconds behind, you do your undercut, and after the other person stops 1 or 2 laps later, you actually end up ahead. That's the undercut. The overcut, the opposite. I let you stop earlier. You will refuel your car. You will be heavier coming out of the pit box, and you will be slower. Even if your tires are better, the difference in weight often is much more damaging. So you're gonna be slower while you keep driving. While you are come out of the pits, I will keep driving on a lighter car and be faster for those laps. If you were ahead of me when you boxed, you'll be behind me after I do. That's the idea. Domska is now quite comfortably ahead of Randers. Not permanent, and that's not an impossible to close gap. But it's not something he needs to actively think about, and that is nice for him. Very much so. Marcus VR currently in P6. Now, I don't know if that is... I don't think he's happy about that. I think he wants to be in P4. Back there again. But that's how things have shaped up. Caffel on P8. I think is going to be satisfied with this race. People ahead of him are very quick. He also still has people behind him like Gilligan and Sorrow, who unfortunately I don't think had the race he wanted to have. And will be shouting about blue flags, I'm sure. Because, yeah, it's looking a little bit like blue flags. Chemustas is in the pits now, and Gomestos in P12. We'll be having a point for that. JJ is not currently in the points, has been in and out a little bit. So I have a decent amount of race to get back into the top 12. And if any of those people haven't boxed yet, I think Daniel Gilligan may not have yet. But Gilligan will be alright, I think. I think he will emerge maybe behind Sorrow, but not much further down. A little bit of lull in the action, but Gomestos is relatively close to Nota Bene. And I feel like Gomestos is going to be a little bit faster, but we are going to see if that's the case. I will also note this car not only drives differently, if you've been paying attention, it looks differently as well. Oh, and Nota Bene goes into the pits, so that is Gomestos in P11. I think JJ is going to be in the top 12 as well then. Going to be scoring a point. I need to stop doing that. If you're wondering why that keeps happening, it is simply resting my finger on the right click, and the right click apparently does that. I don't know why that is. I hope I can turn it off. Like, I have an escape key on my keyboard. I don't need a right click to make me exit out of something. That is not a thing in any application. I don't know why they do this. Yes, okay. I've had my my regularly scheduled AMS2 rant. These are scheduled for every single race. So yeah, keep joining to hear what pet peeves I have about AMS2. So far, we've not had the worst one though. The cameras have been alright. Cameras have been alright. We've been able to see what's going on mostly. One of those things that's going on is Randers is catching up to Domska. I think he's also catching up to Dikra. Well, he's alright. Okay, the deltas aren't very reliable once they get too big. The deltas are very much an estimate, I think, based on speed as well as, well, where you are. Now, that's not always a very good estimate, because if you're on a long straight, you're faster, and it's like, oh, you're going to be there in a couple of seconds. But if you're in corners, you're a lot slower. It's like, oh, you're actually very slow. No, that's not how it works. Getting close behind Sorrow. Should say Sorrow in P9. I think we'll be quite happy about that. I feel like Gilligan has taken a pit stop. Let me quickly check. I also got a penalty, so I think that's from a pit stop, unfortunately, or for corner cut. So Gilligan has 10 seconds behind his name. Will not be happy about that. Kind of annoyed. Gomestos, as it stands, would be moving up. Gilligan has every chance to increase that gap. He will need to pass Sorrow for that. He's got a couple more laps to make that happen. Randers has a couple of laps to make this happen. Fighting for second place. Domska is a tough one to overtake, though. What makes him so tough is very simple. He's a very good driver. He's very fast. He doesn't make very many mistakes. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that sometimes. If you're behind Michael, for example, you might be a little quicker. He might make a couple of mistakes, but he's quite a good defender. He's quite good wheel to wheel. Against Domska, you very much need to make an opportunity, and that is not happening for Randers yet. Meanwhile, it looks like a foregone conclusion Well, hang on, let me watch this straight, because these two... I don't think Randers will have an opportunity here. He doesn't decide to force one. He will need to create one somehow, though. It's going to be a tough one. He's got a couple of laps to try and make it happen. See if he succeeds. This man, though, looks like a foregone conclusion that the reigning champion will start this season ahead in P1. Kind of where he belongs, it seems like. He looks so comfortable in this car as well. It's like he didn't last, and somebody has gone off. Keeps driving. Happy to see that. Randers chasing Domschka down. The gap is small. This is very much one of those where slipstream can actually make the difference. Randers is faster on the straight. Looking on the inside. It is gonna be enough for a look. Not a move though. I think Randers kind of let him get away with it here. Maybe he feels the slipstream is strong enough that he should wait until here, or until a later lap, where that overtake will more likely result into that second place finish. Because again, the only position that matters is the one you're in at the end of the race. But intermediate positions are interesting, and one of those is Goudsman in P4. I think he will be happy with that if he finishes there. We've got Dustin Marcus. Marcus, I think, might be kicking himself. I don't think he belongs this far down. So hopefully in future races we'll have a better shot at getting the result he deserves. Might just be off the podium, because these three... Tikra's running away with a little bit, but these three very much look like they're in a league of their own. Tikra's 30 seconds ahead of Gerald. These are like 20 seconds ahead. And on the inside, Randers, he manages to stick it there for a little bit. Domschka is compromised here, and this will be an opportunity. Randers will have a better exit if he doesn't get too close. Well, he doesn't get too close. There is some contact. Unfortunately, it's not like the one contact that I had, where it was a similar small touch that completely disassembled the rear wing of the guy ahead. It happened to me once. Thankfully, not the issue here. So I have to stick behind for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, Gilligan chasing down Sorrow. Gap is still 2 seconds. Other battles, well, we've got Ditto actually not that far behind Silver. Looking for an opportunity. If it comes. Dikra. There's no chance you're going to give that one away, right? Especially when these two are fighting the way they are. 10 seconds behind Dikra. But more importantly, Randers making a very concrete challenge to be that person to try and chase down that Ferrari. But the gap is 10 seconds. And the time you have is only 5 laps. Including this one. Oh, and that is a mistake from Domschka, who goes on the grass. And that's all she wrote. Very much was left enough space, but went wide. All by himself. That's all she wrote. Randers is now firmly in second place. Not permanently, firmly. Domschka's going to have to settle for third as it stands. And Randers is going to have to be 2.5 seconds faster, I think, per lap to have any chance. That's not happening. Dikra is flying. It won't surprise me if he has the fastest lap, and he does. Note that down. Completely indomitable. It looks like we are very much entering a bit of a Dikra era. Does seem to be the faster driver that we have on this server, but he is a strong server. Don't quite see it because of how far ahead he, well, these three are from everyone else. But Carroll's Dustin, Marcus, Michael, Caffalo, all very, very strong drivers. You see a lot of these people that are joining, they're not able to match. That's not in the realm of possibility, unfortunately. I think Jetlin has also retired, unfortunately. Reserve driver driving for Terrell Yamaha. Didn't make it to the finish line, unfortunately. Tomska now has called back up to Randa, so that's not a foregone conclusion. She did so in the pits again. Might be attempting a fastest lap. He might as well, you do get a point for it. He is running out of time to try that, so good shout to stop now if you want, if that's why he stops. Tom's getting closer to Randers, but not close enough for a move. Enables us to go back to Gilligan, who again is getting closer, little by little. There's not enough for a move yet. They are going to be running out of time, though. Gotta be a little bit quick. Put some pace behind it. I say that, of course, Gilligan does have a penalty, so I don't, it is not. This is not permanent. He's going to finish 10th. Who's going to finish second? That is not determined. Rand is currently in second. I think somebody's beside the road. It might have been an illusion, honestly. Domska is keeping up with Randers, seem to have a very strong pace, very good slipstream. Looking on the inside then. Makes a move. Oh, but Randers around the outside, he hangs on. On the fancy inside here, but Domska critically managed to go around the outside. He's side by side, he's not clear yet. Randers will get an opportunity to defend here. Where is he? Oh, he's ahead. Randers has defended that successfully, but what a beautiful attempt from Domska. It wasn't an overtake around the outside, but nearly was. I think that's very good for show. Randers manages to defend, and he's gonna need to do it again. It is absolutely not over him. That second place finish is not guaranteed by any means. Dan Gillen has actually made a mistake. He's dropped back down quite a bit. When I say he needs to do it once again, by the way, he needs to do it twice again. I'm pretty sure. No, he's entering lap 40. It's the last time, last real chance that Domska has to overtake. But he's quite far back. He does have slipstream. He does have a much faster car right now. Because of that slipstream. Into the wake of Randers, but he's late on the brakes. Oh, and that might be costly on the grass there. A little bit out of sorts. Is that all she wrote? He does have his car set up for straight lines, though. Is it going to be enough? I don't think he's even going to send it. It is simply too far away. Randers has got one hand on that silver medal. Look on the inside, though. And that is Domska around the inside. Or on the inside of that long, sweeping uphill right-hander, taking that second place away from Randers. He had one hand on it, and he snatches it away. Domska is not over yet. We've had drag races on this track before. It will not be the first time. It will certainly not be the last time if we see it here again. Dikra crosses the line and wins the race. It's almost unimportant. Very important. We'll talk about it in a bit. Randers has a bit of a drag race on his hand, but I don't think it's going to be enough. He's faster. He's side by side. Is it going to be enough? It's not enough. Domska takes second place. Randers in third place. And that is ultra right. We're going to hang on quickly. We have a race winner here. Dikra has won the race. That is not him. This is him. Congratulations. Very well done. We'll talk to him after the race is over. In the interviews, of course, we still have those. Gerald in P4 is, I think, very happy with that. If they go like that across the finish line, they're super happy. It's like they've won the race. Especially considering how this race started, I think we'll be very happy. Dustin in P5. Marcus in P6. I think they will be a little bit more disappointed. Michael in P7. Hasn't finished that yet, but looking to finish there. Cavalo's finished in P8. Sorrow in 9th place, ahead of Gilligan. Gomestos in P11 and JJ in P12, last to get points. Very good job for all the races, honestly. A very enjoyable race. Relatively clean as well, all around. And we'll quickly verify that I've got all the results set up correctly. Move that. We've got Dikra ahead of Domska, who pipped Randers in the last lap with a very beautiful move. Unusual move, but he made it happen. So well done from him. Then we have save replay, because I need this. Randers, we've got Geralt, we've got Dustin, Marcus and Michael, the teammates in the Red Bull Sauber Ford. Thank you. Cavalo, also his fastest lap. He is fastest lap, very good. Cavalo in P8. Dekra's got fastest lap. We've got Sorrow, P9. Gilligan, P10. Gomez Tos JJ, not a minute. I think the rest is also correct. Should have taken a screenshot. Okay. Provisional results. I'm going to update my system with them. I'm going to move on to the post-race scene. So I can close AMS2, honestly. That's the biggest thing. And we'll have to reopen it later for a thumbnail. I'm going to start doing that. All right. So, I think, yep, everything's good. Let's have a look at the driver standings then. After one race, we've got Dikra with 26 points, at 25 for a win, plus 1 for a fastest lap. Then we have Domska, 20 points for second place. Randers, 16 points for third. And we've got the Benetton-Renault duo in Gerald and Dustin. We've got Marcus VR, Michael, the Red Bull Sauber 4 team in 6th and 7th. Cavalo, P8, Sorrow, P9. Daniel Gilligan, P10 with 3 points. Gomestos gets 2. And JJ gets 1. See, a little bit of a different points division. Usually you only got bonus points for first, second, and third. Now, you see the gap between 4th and 5th are still 2, all the way down to 7th, after which they go down by 1. So, if you finish in the top 6, essentially, you get a couple more points than you normally would. Very much encouraged to finish there, of course. Not that anyone wants to finish low. That will be the first page. The second page, a lot of people haven't scored a point yet, but you do get your position upgraded depending on where you finish. So, that is as it stands. Fortunately, Gears couldn't join today due to bugs, and he'll be fanatically figuring out why that is. Team standings then. Very interesting. Ferrari in P1, of course, very strong from Dikra, 26 points from him, points from Cavalo as well. Puts him in a very strong P1. 40 Grand Prix in second place. Tied with Benetton. Very interesting. Then we've got Williams, P4. Red Bull in P5. Small gap between those. And the rest of it got Terrell, McLaren, Minardi still with a couple of points with Ligier, Jordan, and Lotus so far not scoring any. But I do expect that to change for, well, at least Lotus, because Keza wasn't driving, and I'm sure he will finish in the top 12 at least once. So, that is that. I'm going to try and find some people that would like to talk to me for an interview. And I will assault you with that while it happens. So, we'll be back in a bit. Enjoy the music and the ad, maybe. All right, thank you for waiting, and about ready to start the interviews. We've got a couple of drivers here, and as always, we start with the best finisher. Let me invite him up right now. Of course, it is your race winner, Dikra. Hello, Dikra.
Hello, Findict, and great to hear you again.
Great to hear you again as well, and well, good reason to hear you as well, because you have won this race, and in what at the start didn't look like it would be so free, so easy, but once the track dried up, you seem to be really comfortable with this car.
Yeah, I think at the start of the race, Randers got a slightly better start than me, and he also had less fuel than me because we had different tactics. We talked about that briefly after the race. His tactic was to just fuel as many laps as he wanted to go in the beginning, and then fuel up. And my tactic was to avoid fueling, having too long of a pit stop. And I thought I could overfuel the car in the beginning and not lose too much time, and then just gain that time I lost back in the pit stop. It kind of worked out, but I think in the end maybe his strategy was a little better. I think I also made a couple mistakes in the beginning in the rain because I wanted to keep up more than I actually could. But then when the track dried out, yeah, I think he made a mistake, and after that I was directly behind him, and it turned out it's quite easy to follow in this class of car. It's not quite as easy as with the Formula Riser, but it is easy to follow. The only thing that's quite hard is to actually get an overtake that can stick. And that was when we started to fight. And then I had a stroke of luck, to be honest, because we came up to some lap traffic, and I think I got through that lap traffic a bit more smoothly, or a lot more smoothly, than Domschka and Steve and Brandes did behind me. So I gained, I think, 1.5 or 2 seconds through just going through the traffic quicker, which also put me out of which also put them out of the slipstream, and I could just basically time trial the rest of the race. And I think I also had quite good pace in the drive for sure, but had they been able to stay behind me, I don't think I would have been able to shake them off. So I think the upcoming races are going to be very exciting when maybe the traffic is not going to be on my side.
Yeah, well, as you said, a little bit unfortunate with how that went in the dry, but definitely some promise for the future for sure for close races. Um, yeah, you're a reigning champion, you're leader in this championship right now. Do you think you can repeat your performance last year? Do you think you can do even better than what was a very strong season for you? Or is it, as you hinted, is this going to be tough?
I think I'm not sure I can do better. I think last season went pretty much perfectly for me, and I also had a lot of luck in that last season where races went better than they should have for me. So I don't think I'm gonna be able to repeat that, except if I strike some deal with the devil. I'm trying to work that out currently. But apart from that, I think it's gonna be tough. I also think that the car, with the way I've set it up now, is also quite well suited to my driving style. But also in this race, you have to say that especially Domschka didn't really practice as much as I did, so he had some lack of experience compared to me, and I think that's not going to be the case for every single race. So I think we are in for very much of a fight. And also, I think for the upcoming races, my qualifying weakness, which I definitely have, will come into play much more, because in this race, it didn't really matter because we had a wet qualifying and I managed to get the best one lap in the one lap shootout. But for the upcoming races, it's gonna be. I don't think I can manage more than P3, P5 in most qualifyings, and then it's gonna be the question: will I be able to get past people in time, or will I get stuck in traffic? So I'm very happily taking this win. And also, it's the question whether I will be able to take part in the next race. I haven't yet worked that out, whether I will be. I'm not sure.
All right. Well, hopefully we'll see you next time then, and yeah, we'll see what the rest of the season brings. Thank you so much for yeah, for your words and your race performance. Very well done. Congratulations.
Thank you for commentating as always. And yeah, I'm looking forward to rewatching the live stream.
All right, perfect. Uh, Thank you so much. We'll move swiftly on to the man, the myth, the legend, the former champion, the former teammate, second place finisher Domska.
Yeah, hi Findict.
Hello, Domska. How are you doing after that race?
To be fair, I'm very happy after this race because, as Dikra said, I haven't practiced much for this one. So I thought with Dustin in the mix and Randers and Dikra, I thought a podium finish would be ideal for that what I practiced, and I was P2 and I was on pace, so I'm very happy with that, and I am excited what the season will bring.
All right, brilliant. I've been talking about, well, this car. Last year, of course, we had a very modern car with a lot of buttons to press, no fuel to worry about. This year, though, is a lot different. It's a lot more like, well, 2 seasons ago, season 5, the one that you won. Do you think this car suits you better than the previous cars?
I think a little bit, but I think if you are, but I think, yeah, I think it does suits me a little bit better, but not that much. As this race showed, we are very close, like last season. So I don't know if there maybe it is a little bit psychological. I would say that it suits me better. It makes fun to drive, but I don't know if I am faster. I would say not. I would say I'm not faster than last season. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what the season brings.
But yeah, it's a long season. 8 races. We've only done one
Yeah.
so far. You finished second, so you've got every chance to make up points and again to lose them. Then about this race, you had a well. Actually, talk me through it because your start was so-so, and after that, a lot happened. Somehow you finished P2. What happened?
I was pretty happy with my start. I didn't lose a position, and I could follow Dikra in conditions that I wasn't very familiar with. And after that, we had a little bit of a freeway fight, which was very fun. And then the traffic happened, which was very fortunate for Dikra, I think. He had a little bit of luck there. And Randers and myself were a little bit more hold up. Or we had a little bit bad luck with the traffic. But yeah, and because we are so close to each other in pace, I think if you are 2 seconds, 3 seconds ahead, it's basically impossible for the other one to close the gap. And if we stay together the race, then we will battle all race long, as it showed with Randers. We had a little battle, or a little battle lasted the whole race basically, and the last stint. So that was fun. After our last pit stop, I was a little bit unconcentrated because Dikra was far away. I knew a win would be very difficult, if not impossible. So I was a little bit unconcentrated. So Randers could close up and overtake me. Then, yeah, I could stay behind him, and we had a little bit of a battle, which was very fun, very fair. And in the last lap, I would have liked to overtake him in turn 1 on the outside to make it a little bit a nice move. that obviously didn't work out, but I was very happy with that move in turn 5. So I sticked it on the inside, and we were side by side, did not touch, and I got him. Then I think he wanted to try another move in turn 6 in breaking zone, which I covered. There I had a little bit of a lockup, and then I had actually a flat spot for the last half of a lap. And we had a drag race to the finish line, which was very exciting. But luckily there was no DRS this time and no DRS chicken or something like that, and I won that drag race. So yeah, it was very fun, very fair, and I hope next time we will have that battle for the win with the same outcome.
Of course, you will be going for the same outcome. But maybe next time you can try and win a race and get yourself back into the championship fight.
Yeah.
Very close drag race at the end as well. But in the end, P2, all yours. Thank you so much for talking us through that. We'll move swiftly on because there's a lot of people willing to talk.
Thank you for streaming.
No worries. Thank you so much for joining, talking about it, and doing so on the race, giving us a show to watch. All right. Next, the last man on the podium. Do we have? Yes, we do. Randus. Let's see. Is he available? He is. I don't think he's fully here, so we might skip over him for now. Yeah, we're gonna quickly skip Randus while he is.
Sorry.
No.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. He's here. I got jumped.
I was in the game. I didn't see your. I didn't see that I had to confirm. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no worries. Okay, you've you were just in time. Yeah, P3. How do you feel about that P3?
Quite happy. Podium is always great. Still could have been a bit more, and the fact that I lost it in the final lap kind of it's kind of a downer. But yeah, I'm always happy for a podium and for having a good race.
Yeah, podium is a podium. Again, a strong start to the season for you. Very strong qualifying as well, and a very, very good start. Talk us through that start and how the rest of the race evolved for you.
Yeah, I think I fueled a bit less than Dikra. So I had a better getaway at the start, and I could pull away a bit due to my lower fuel load. And I think that strategy was quite successful because I still had my gap after pitting. The thing was I made a mistake into the center ice right after the pit stops. Got on the wet part a bit and then lost 2 seconds. And when you have somebody in your slipstream, it's a bit of a disadvantage for the current front. So yeah, we had a 3-way fight from then. I think Dikra was still the fastest in the group, but as Domschka already mentioned, the traffic helped him a bit to pull away from the slipstream. And from that moment, it was just Domschka and me fighting for P2. I didn't expect myself to be quicker on the final stint, which somehow I was. I don't know why he lost a bit of pace in the final stint. And after our first battle, then I had a bit of a cramp in my muscles, if that's the correct word for that. And I started to get a bit nervous and a bit shaky. And somehow I knew he would try to put the move on me in the final lap, which he did, and the center is. But I think he wanted to make it a bit too spectacular going around the outside. He also said that in the voice chat. And then I was a bit too secure. I felt like, okay, now that he didn't put the move in the first corner, I will make it through the final lap. And I left the door open in that corner, and the move was really, really good. very much on the edge, as the whole fight was. But that move was, I have to be fair, that move was really, really good. And yeah, great fight. And yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
great race.
Very good race from the both of you. Very good back and forth. Yeah, and the move was brilliant on the inside of that long sweeping uphill right hander. Definitely one of the best moves this race. But unfortunate for you, of course, you lost the position there, but still podium position. Good start of the season. Now for the rest of the season, I think this should be encouraging. Last year, of course, of last season, which was last year technically, you won the first race. That must have also been encouraging. But then after that, it's been Dikra all over the season. Do you think you stand a better chance to challenge him?
I hope I can do it the other way around this year. Start a bit more at the bottom and then come back at the end. But I think last year I practiced a lot for Barcelona, and that was a big advantage. And this year I practiced a lot for Interlagos again. Maybe a bit more than I wanted to say the Lotus guys, but they aren't anymore, like Dikra Domschka. So let's see what will happen in the next races. I didn't try Montreal and all the other tracks yet, so it might be a bit worse than this race because I don't have that much time to practice. But you never know. Maybe Montreal is my favorite track, and I can come back and win. It's so close this season again, so everything's possible. Let's see. I don't really have goals. I will. It's a boring answer, but I will look from race to race.
Yeah, well, it's a boring answer because it's a correct answer, really. Just take every race as it comes, and it's exciting as looking forward to. It's often if you're in the car, it's not the best. Oh, thank you so much. Wish the best for you in Montreal, and hopefully we'll have you as a permanent feature for the championship fight. Thanks so much.
I'll try.
All right, and as he claims he wants to win Montreal, I'm gonna pull in someone that I think will have something to say about that. Of course, it is
And he does.
Dustin. Yeah, he does. It's Dustin. Hello, Dustin. How are you doing after that race?
Actually, it kind of feels like I won a race right now.
Well, explain.
Yeah, I think it's a bit strange to say that now because I've had since the practice like 20 frames per second, so I lost a lot of time doing the race, being extra careful, and there was even the case where I was next to the track when it was more to the beginning of the race when Marcus overtook me. And everyone who was just following me, I basically let them by because I was feared that I would take anyone out. But what definitely helped is that I believe the Benetton guys had the best strategy out of all the drivers because Gerald was also a bit down and we finished 4th and 5th because we completely fueled the car when we were in a pit lane when for the first stop after the wet patch. So we could go way longer. The tires were totally fine. And I thought even at the end, okay, it's 13 laps to go. I will try with soft. And it was actually good because I was really constantly driving until the end. But it could have been faster, but the lagging was way worse in the last couple of laps. So I definitely need to look into it because I feel like it's getting more and more. I think I had this last season of our last race already too. So yeah, this is
Yeah,
something I definitely need to look into my PC. And yeah,
it's always a bit frustrating when you want to do your race and there's a lag all around. So yeah, hopefully you can get that fixed then for the next race, which I remember Canada is one of your favorite tracks, if not the favorite track. And last year, you were kind of robbed of an opportunity to win. Do you think, provided you get your issues fixed and everything, do you think you will have a good chance to win it this year?
I think yes. I think I wasn't up to speed to win today. I think if everything would have been fine, it would have been a P4 with maybe, for example, 5 seconds off runners, for example. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think this was my base today. But Montreal was always a good track for me. So I think I need to look into the issues and improve everything, and then I can fully attack like I did last time around.
Yeah, well, we do have
Without the neck, please.
yeah, we have a problem then because I think we have 4 people now that want to win Canada, and only one can do it. So you're gonna have to battle Dikra, Domska, and Randers for it. And I do hope we get a close battle next race. One more question specifically for you. You're the organizer, of course. It's your 7th season doing this, and we've had 21 people in the race. Could have been 22 if Keza didn't have his problems. How excited are you about this season to organize it again, and especially after this race? How does that make you feel?
Very much. Seeing that 17 drivers finished the race out of 21 that started, this is a new record for us. And this just makes me happy as an organizer, because I've been doing this for 5 years today, this year at some point in around April or May. And yeah, this is 5 years of hard work, but led to being 17 finishers today in the end. So really happy about that. And yeah, a lot of work has gotten into it for this season again, with all the liveries, the graphics, the briefing I made today with the PowerPoint. Yeah, a lot of stuff is going on behind the scenes, and in the end, I do this still with a lot of fun. And yeah, it's just really cool to do this.
Okay, well, very happy to hear, and yeah, always exciting. Now that I commentate as well, always exciting to commentate. Excited to do again for the next race, and thank you so much for organizing.
Yeah. Thank you for commentating. Oh, and by the way, next race is actually Nürburgring, not Canada.
Oh, sorry.
Canada's the 4th
Yeah,
race.
of course. I don't know why I wanted to skip to Canada. Of course, the European Grand Prix next time around. Yeah, Canada is actually like the 4th race. Yeah, and you got a German
Yeah,
Grand
we
Prix
have
and
2
the
races
European
in
Grand Prix
Germany.
before that. Yeah. Of course. Small mistake from the caster, but we'll survive it. All right. Thank you so much for talking us through all these things, and yeah, we'll see you next time in Germany.
See you.
All right, then we have to move down the list a little bit. Not any of the Red Bull drivers, nor do we have Capital, but we do have the man who finished behind him. Give it up for Sorrow. Hello. Hello, Sorrow. How are you doing after that race? I'm sure it's mixed feelings.
Yeah, I'm quite disappointed. Like, literally right before the start of the race, I said to myself, okay, let's have a nice clean season this time. Let's get rid of all the mistakes, all the bad luck that I had last year, and immediately in turn one, I was pushed off by one of the Benettons.
That is unfortunate. To make a New Year's resolution essentially and to lose it into turn 1. As far as New Year's resolutions go, I guess that sums it up. But yeah, I did notice you had a fairly rough start. But I feel like in the rest of the race there were reasons to be encouraged. Would you agree, or am I seeing things?
Yeah. After turn one, I rejoined in like P15, but people around me had very little confidence in the wet, so I very quickly made my way up the field. and I switched to slicks at the basically perfect time at the end of lap 5, and I feel like I was the only one around in that group of P5 to P10 who put it on softs right after the inters. At least it looked like that considering the other people's pace. And because of that, I made my way up to P5, and I really felt great behind the wheel of the car. Unfortunately, then the soft tires started to wear out, which meant I couldn't catch Marcus anymore. And then Geralt started to catch up back to me, but it was all planned. I wasn't too worried about that, and I pitted as scheduled on lap 20 to put on hards and go right to the end. But unfortunately, I didn't notice that I had repairs set to all, which meant that the game started fixing my 12-13% engine damage. And I lost like 45 seconds. So in my typical fashion, I turned an easy top 6 finish into a P9.
It's I guess a learning moment, and especially the accidental repairs. I thought that was going on with at least one person in this race, and at least it happened to you, I guess. You were in the pits for a long time at some point, so yeah, very unfortunate. But there is reason to be encouraged. The pace is there. Every opportunity to finish in the top 6 on a field that remains extremely strong. So that is reasons to be happy. The next races, I just learned it was Nürburgring. Next one we're going. How do you feel about Nürburgring, and do you think you have a good shot to improve your result there?
I mean, I don't know really about Nürburgring. It's a quite fun track, so I looking forward to it. Hockenheim is, on the other hand, one of my favorite tracks in the game. The 2001 layout is basically an oval with a couple of chicanes, and I'm so sad that I'm unfortunately gonna miss that round. I'm like 90% sure that I won't be able to make it, and even if I will be able to. On the same weekend, there is the 24 Hours of Le Mans in Le Mans Ultimate being hosted, so I don't think I will be able to prepare for both that and the GPC race.
Okay, that's unfortunate, but we'll see you next week then. Yeah, if you score a large amount of points, you can still put yourself in the championship fight, maybe. But that's going to be tricky if you're going to miss a race, unfortunately. All right.
Yeah, and also the pace of the top 3 drivers today was absolutely insane. So I definitely won't be a championship contender this season. I hope to hopefully get to like top 5. That's my main goal, like just like last season.
Yeah, that would be a very good start, and if you can sneak a podium somewhere, I think anybody could be very happy with a podium with this grid. Very strong, as you say. So yeah. So some encouraging things. Tough one. We'll see you next time. Time after that, I guess you're missing. So yeah, that's how that is. Thank you so much, Sorrow, for some words, and I wish you all the best preparing for the next race.
Right, see you.
And finally, we've got one more person happy to speak with us. He's the man who finished P10 right behind Sorrow. It's Daniel Gilligan. Hello.
Hello.
How are you doing after that race? It's P10. It's a couple of points for you. Did you expect more, or is that kind of what you were gonna settle for?
Oh, I'm very happy with that. I was getting altitude sickness. I was that high up. It was it was good fun, that race. I didn't really get much opportunity to practice. I'd done a bit a few days ago, but not a huge amount. And I never really know how to set cars up properly in sim racing either. So I was running basically the default setup, but with like a couple of changes to like tire pressures and the opening of the brake ducts. Basically, that was my whole setup. But yeah, happy with how it went, and yeah, maybe I might be able to score some points on a semi-regular basis on the back of that.
Yeah, well, we do go all the way down to 12th place. So with how crowded it is up in the midfield, it's still not guaranteed, of course. But yes, there's every opportunity, and very encouraging start to the season at that. A decent pace. Did that was the pace kind of without errors, or did you make some errors where you think I could have actually been a lot closer to maybe a better position this race?
Definitely a lot of errors, and I think that was just coming from, again, the lack of practice and the lack of being in a sim for a while as well. Actually, I've not really been doing very much in the way of sim racing for a few months. This is kind of my first foray back into it, really. So it was a good, fun way to get back in. Very fortunate not to get hit in turn one or anything like that, like some people were. But yeah, it was. I would say that some of the errors, like the more glaring ones, like there was a nice close scrap between me and Sorrow at the end, which obviously only really happened because he, of course, was in the pits longer because of the damage that accidentally got repaired on his car, like he mentioned earlier on. So I was very lucky to be having a battle with him at all. But I was gaining. I got like few tenths this lap, another few tenths another lap. Okay, now we're within a second, about 7 tenths back, and then just a little bit too late on the brakes into turn 4, and then just last couple of tires over the curb. That then sends you out wide onto the grass and lost about 3.5 seconds just in that one corner. And from there, I was never really back into it with him. There were definitely some occasions as well where I was sort of braking into corners thinking, I've done all my braking and I'm not turning yet. So I'm clearly being way too cautious into these turns. So definitely some room for improvement. But yeah, just confidence and maybe setups and things like that could be handy in the future.
Yeah, well, early stages in the championship, of course. Many people, I think are not quite fully comfortable with how the car races in a full grid. So experience there, and next race, yeah, opportunity to improve, which others will of course do as well. So it's gonna be tricky, and it's nice to have you in the midfield and fighting for points. For the next race, then, that is the Nürburgring. Nearly confused the German tracks there. How do you feel about the Nürburgring? Do you have a good feeling for it? Are you excited for it? Do you think you'll do well?
Well, put it this way, I'm glad it's not the Nordschleife. That would be terrifying. I don't really know Nürburgring too well. Like I can, if I see a photo of it or an old race or something, then I'll know immediately that it's Nürburgring. Like visually, I recognize it, but actually driving it, I've not got a huge amount of experience. So that one I will need to do some practice for. Otherwise, my practice will just be that half-hour session at the beginning of the day, which would not be great. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. I'm just approaching the races of, it's a hobby. It doesn't really matter. So don't deliberately crash into anybody, and then have fun, and that's it really. Like points are a bonus. If the guys in front of me all crash, then a podium would be nice, but I'm definitely not beating them on pace. If you're about 2.5 to 3 seconds a lap slower than the guys at the front, no amount of setup and driver confidence is going to overcome that straight away. So yeah, I could do loads of practice for Nürburgring. I'm sure I'll still be nowhere near those guys at the top.
Right. Well, hopefully, hopefully you'll get your practice and you'll get another nice bag of points next race then. So thank you very much for joining us here, and good luck for the next race.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
No worries. And we do have one more driver who wanted to join for an interview. I will invite him right now. It is our P7 finisher, Michael. How are you doing?
Hello, yes. Doing okay.
Very good. Are you happy with your result?
Yes, it's good. It's okay.
Yeah, of course, the
Had a
drivers
big mistake.
big mistake. Okay, we'll talk about that. The people ahead of you are, of course, very strong. You did manage to bag 6 points for the team, which, of course, is very good for the team. But you said that you make a big mistake. Talk us through the race and tell us about that big mistake.
Yes, I had a good start. I was P14. I didn't get the lap at the end. So I had a good start. I was immediately like P8 or something. Then the other people in front of me pitted, and I was on the track one lap more. And then that lap, it was so slippery, I went off in the middle part. So I lost like 10, 15 seconds in that lap. So I was then play 8, but like 10 seconds behind Capula. So that cost me a lot. And so I had a lonely race. Then I overtook Matthias during the race because he made a mistake. But yeah, it was a lonely race.
Yeah, I think a couple of times I switched over to you and saw others like nobody 10 seconds ahead of you and nobody 10 seconds behind of you. So yeah, a bit of a lonely race.
Yeah.
Unfortunate mistake, but in the end, P7.
Yeah, P7 is good, yeah.
Very good, especially with how
Good
strong
points.
this grid is.
Yeah.
If you look in general for this season, do you think P7 is about where you will finish most races, or do you think there's more in there?
I think under normal circumstances, P7 is like the best I can do. Maybe P6 if something happens at the front. But Zorro had a mistake at the pit, so he was definitely in front of me. Matthias is also very fast. I don't have the pace anymore. I'm getting old. So like top 10 is definitely always possible, but like P7 is a really good result. So I take that in every race if it's possible.
Yeah, well, not bad for an old man to get P7 for sure. Yeah. Are you excited for the next race? Home race in the Nürburgring?
Yes, I'm looking forward. It's a cool track. We raced there before a couple of times, so it will be good and dry.
Dry is very important. Did you struggle with the wets?
It was okay. It was okay, yeah. It was not that bad.
Yeah. I think the mileage will vary for some people there, but yeah, it didn't seem too bad for most. Good, it wasn't so bad for you either. Well, thank you very much. You had a great race. P7, couple of points behind your name. Should be very good. Thank you so much. And
Yes, thank
and
you for
yes,
having me.
no worries. And I'm going to say goodbye to the audience on Twitch. Thank you so much for watching. It has been a riveting race, riveting qualifying as well. I'm going to have to upload all of this to YouTube somehow. Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a load of fun. But before I go, one more thing. Of course, this is not a single race. This is a season. We just had the Brazilian Grand Prix. In 2 weeks' time, we're going to Europe. Specifically, we're going to Germany, the Nürburgring. There we will maybe have a different result. Will Dikra be able to extend his lead? Will he show that he really is the best driver? Or are we going to see someone else on the top step? I'm very excited to find out. And hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks to find that out with me. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good evening.